system, which includes undertaking a physical exercise of tracking all the recorded plots on the ground and locating owners with the aim of establishing the accurate number of plots and the amount outstanding. This will make it easier to access the owners and recover outstanding arrears accordingly. Annex Chair 3, Chair.
Okay. Auditor, what type of response did you expect? Because you're saying this is not satisfactory.
Yeah, Chair.
Yes, Governor. No, it's auditor now.
Thank you, Chair. The explanation and the efforts have been demonstrated by the county, but in terms of the results, it's yet to be out. So that is why we are saying still outstanding, long outstanding debts are there. So they have put the efforts, but now the results have not been realized.
Yeah, so Governor, the auditor is looking for results that you need to collect this money. And even as you're doing whatever you're doing, when will you start bearing fruit? Because you want that money collected. You're not putting any sort of timelines that this is what you've put in place. It's ending this at this point, and so we expect to start collecting this money at this point. That is what would satisfy the auditor.
Thank you, Chair. Allow me to yield to Professor.
Yes, Professor. The tracking is taking very long.
Yeah, thank you.
When will you complete the tracking?
Thank you, Chair. We are on course in terms of implementing the GIS system, and we are hoping that by the end of December, the system is actually to be up and running, because we find that what happens is usually there could be plots that are owned by people who passed away even very many years ago, and then you find that once they pass away, that even their family members are not aware of the obligations that they're supposed to be paying these debts. But now when we automate this system and we have all the records are going to come with a very clear analysis of how much each and every plot in Murang'a is owed. And through that, we are going to be able to track and make sure that that payment is received by the county.
So, okay, Senator Nyotu.
Thank you, Chair. I think I'm okay as far as collection of that revenue is concerned. But Chair, there is also the other aspect, the social aspect. The CEC in charge of finance has said that, and it is true that sometimes the registered plot owners could have, they are deceased. So sometimes you find that you cannot place this responsibility to any particular person in the any surviving member of that family. So exactly what are you going to do to see to it that that we do not disorient families? Exactly what are you going to do if families do not pay up? Are you going to sell these plots? And there is a social aspect, the social angle to it, Chair. So maybe just some light on exactly what you're going to do. Yeah. Once you identify these plots.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. What you're going to do in terms of making sure that our actions don't have negative consequences on the community, we are going to engage in very good public participation, the same that we did when we were rolling out this GIS system and we were telling people to accept the enumerators that we are sending on the ground to collect the information. We did public participation in every sub-county where we told people why we are doing this. And one of the reasons that we are going to be doing this is the fact that we are going to come up with an app. As you can see with Annex 3, we are going to come up with an app. The app itself is going to be very beneficial to all the members of the community because through the app, you are going to be able to access all the county services. As you access all the county services, you're also going to see how much you owe. So through public participation and persuasion of the community, we are going to tell them and to show them the need of actually complying and paying this, because it is by paying the arrears that we are able to provide the hospital services we are providing, we are able to provide the Inua Mkurima money we are providing, we are able to do the smart cities that we are doing. So through that public participation, they can see that they're actually going to be the beneficiaries. So it's going to be progressive, and hopefully our people are going to be compliant. So far, we have not seen any resistance at all. So we are hoping that good compliance is going to continue. Thank you.
So how many such plots are possessed by people who are dead? Because I know when you say there are balances include revenue arrears of 44,622,000, these arrears must be a sum from plots which were added to reach 44 million, isn't it? So you must be knowing which plot is owned by somebody who is dead, somebody whom you're not able to find. So how much of this money belongs to, or this is the time you're trying to identify them? Because I'm imagining that already if you know the plots and the plot numbers, you know individuals with names who are not paying, who are not honoring that obligation. Do you require that GIS to identify people who are not paying because they are dead?
Thank you, Chair. So that we can have a holistic picture of the entire debt that is owed, we want to complete that process by the end of December. Enumerators on the ground, they are going round, so that we can have a very accurate picture of how many are dead, how many are living, so that
So are you saying from this data, from your data, you don't know the people whom you owe, who are living? You don't know. Have you written letters to them?
No, we can tell. We know the ones who are living, and we are on course. In terms of writing letters for enforcement, it's something that we are going to do before the end of December.
And the auditor is wondering, why haven't you done that? Because the people who are owed the money are known. The people who are supposed to pay the rates are known. Why haven't you written the letters up now? You know, we see so many things coming up here, and Governor, you've been here with us. You know, waivers, offers for waivers and so on interest and everything. Those are the type of efforts that we want to see. Why aren't they happening in Murang'a?
Yeah, Chair, we give an undertaking to do so, maybe in the next 3 months after we are done with this exercise.
Yeah.
But I also feel that without that system, it becomes very difficult to do that exercise in a logical manner. I say so because, one, those records are very old, and some people have even sold, some people have died, have migrated. So it's a system that will enable, it's like a digital search system, which then will enable even other players to search, know who is the owner, and we think that will be beneficial in the long term.
So, yes, Senator Dulo.
How are you collecting the revenue now? With the old register and all that, and it's not automated. How
Okay,
are you doing collection?
Okay, we have a list of all the people who own the lands. It is there in manual form. We converted it into text form. It is automated but not full. So we just send them text when it comes to the year, then they pay. Some don't pay, some pay. And you are right. One of the way we need to do is to provide things like waiver. We do mass campaigns for people to apply to pay before deadline. Failure to that, there will be some penalty. But the truth is, we feel that system has some problems, which we plan to identify.
So, auditor, okay.
Maybe for me, Murang'a is very rich. That's why you are not collecting revenue. Because when you say some pay, some don't pay, so it looks like you don't want to go for those who are not paying. So unlike some of our counties, I think maybe the reason why you are relaxing, you have enough. That is my conclusion. Thank you.
Auditor, I think this is Governor, do you have to say about that?
No, it's noted, but it's not true. We are poor. We are very poor. But as you can see from the annexure, which is annexure 3, we hope this exercise is the one that will unlock the county resources.
So, auditor, let's keep this issue in view and see how it plays out in the subsequent financial years on ROR. Senator Wambua.
You see, Chair, maybe the governor would have wanted to share. I don't know whether he would want to share that experience with us if he has it. Because you would notice that this is an issue that runs across all the counties since the times of the county councils. The issue of rent and rates has been with us since even before devolution. And the beauty we have today is to have a governor who has served in all the systems. He was there in the county councils, he was there here in the Senate, and now he is in the county executive. Is this thing that every county is doing going to be the solution to this problem, this thing of automating the system? Are you telling us that the only problem why people don't pay or counties don't collect as much as they should is because their systems are not automated? And so if we automate the systems, then you're going to see a big change in the collections of revenues for counties. I see that has become even a revenue stream for media houses, where at the end of every financial year, every media house is running to county governments for advertisement on waivers for rents and rates. What would be the solution to this issue?
Okay, thank you, Chair, for that. Solution for that would be three-pronged in my humble view. Solution number one is to create laws that punish defaulters and also enable those who comply to pay well. That's why the valuation role is important, at least to capture the real current records, because the valuation role preparation enables counties also to upgrade their records. Number two, truly there is a place for automation. I say so because you have to look at it from two angles. Number one, from the owner of a plot. Most people own plots. They don't even remember they own plots, or even if they own, they don't follow up. Yeah. No, I'm just giving practical. When you look out of 100% plots that have been given out, how many have been developed? I would argue maybe 40%. There's a whole 60% plots that are idle. So if you give a digital visibility of those plots to the owners, at least they will follow up, they will pay and such. Secondly, and most importantly, paying tax should be made convenient to taxpayers. The current system where it is more convenient, it is difficult even to pay for those even willing to pay, makes counties under-collect taxes, including land taxes. I say so because you'd imagine a person in Murang'a near the forest, those plots there, going to Murang'a headquarters to pay for land rate. Why can't you digitize so that if you are deep in the forest and you have a plot there, those shopping centers there, you just pay through M-Pesa because you can see your plot in a digital manner. And finally, I think there is logic in something called planning. Most of our urban plots, we don't have what we call plans. They have been passed by the county assembly and registered here at the Ministry of Lands. And therefore, I would propose also counties to undertake that role of planning. A good example is like now Keno. Keno is now our main town. But you imagine Keno doesn't have a physical plan. So I would propose more planning to be done so that once that is done, property value tends to go up, and so we will be able to get more money. Thank you.
So I think we're saying let's keep it in view. It's a cross-cutting issue across all the counties. In fact, most counties just wait for somebody who wants to construct a house, or you take your approvals to your plans for approvals in the county government, then they tell you must pay the rates. Sometimes if you want to sell, before they allow that transfer and so on, they tell you pay the rates first. So let's see how you can leverage on the technology If it works very well for you, then other counties should come and benchmark with Murang'a. Otherwise, what the auditors are saying, that we need this money for provision of goods and services for Murang'a. Keep it in view, auditor. Let's see how it plays out. The last one would be lack of an updated valuation roll. Auditor, what is still remaining unresolved in that query?
Thank you, Chair. The exercise have started, but they have not completed. So that is why we are saying it's yet to be addressed.
Okay, Governor, you're updating the valuation roll. You have not completed. When do you think you'll complete this?
Okay, Chair, there was some prerequisite towards preparing a valuation roll. Number one was to pass a law in the assembly. That was done. The other one was to hire a valuer, a director in valuation. That was done. The other one was now to do public participation, and then probably now give a draft, and then it is later gazetted. Yeah, Chair, we are on course, but we also feel, and this maybe will be off the record, that I'm not so sure this is the correct timing for doing a valuation roll. We might need to hold a little bit so that you don't create some panic among property holders. That's something that is, yeah, that's something weighing our mind. You know, I have to be candid, Chair.
When was the last time you did that valuation roll? The one that you're using now? Because you have counties that are using valuation roll for 2006. That's unfair to the county.
So many years ago, Chair. So many years ago. And you are right, by the way. I think on this one, Murang'a and several other counties, they undercollect. They greatly undercollect because of lack of that document. And I also agree with auditor. You see, Chair, when you look at all types of taxes, if there's a tax that governments, whether national or counties, we need to collect more, is this one. Why? Because this is a tax for those people who are able, people with money. And taxation being ought to be progressive, Chair. I agree that we need to taxation being progressive, and also values of land always on an upward trajectory. I agree, Chair, this is an area that is under collected. The only issue, Chair, I thought maybe we give it a little bit of time. We correct it at the right time, Chair.
Senator
Chair, I wanted to know when you've started updating, and when are you intending to finish?
1 or 2 years from today. The process has started, but we have kept in abeyance for one year or so.
Why? Is it because of budget or because there are other issues?
Okay, there are. Okay, one, we have to involve national government officials. They have a role in that, in this thing. We need to pay them. So, otherwise you have to take it to the private people, which will be too expensive. So you better pay per diem to national government officials to come and help you collect that data. However, I hold the view that I'm not so sure these exercises can be done now. I have a feeling we need to hold it a little bit and until yeah.
Chair, I think you need to direct our colleague to tell us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. he seems to be holding back on something. What is this thing that is holding you back? What is the time? What is wrong with the time? What is it that would happen? I heard him saying it would create panic among property owners if it was done at this time. What is the problem? Can we deal with that problem, Chair?
Okay, Chair, you are aware that the mood of adding more taxes currently is it's we can take judicial notice that this is not the time for considering adding taxes. I would propose we wait until it reaches a time you see as a collection of taxes, you check on the society views. I would propose not now, after you see a shift in public opinion. That's my view, my honest view on this issue.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear the governor say, because what in essence is saying is that the national executive has raided people's incomes to an extent that it inhibits the ability of counties to collect additional revenue from the same incomes. That's exactly what he's saying. So we take note.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to do a new valuation roll. You know, after devolution, properties went up, land went up because of a lot of money going to counties. So there was a lot of increase in the value of taxes. So we need to do a roll. Like in my county, I really quarreled with my people because the last one was done in 2006, before devolution. After money was taken to the counties, everybody was going for the prime plots, and so price went up. So there is a lot of reason to do that valuation, so that if you are collecting money 2%, maybe per plot, if the value goes up, then definitely we'll collect more money. That's what the auditor is asking. And so if we don't know when the process will end, this query will not go. It would still remain. And I think auditor, let's keep this in view. The governor has indicated that they've hired a valuer.
No,
How much?
I think, Chair, he said it's not a priority for us until after 2 years. Unless I've heard something different.
Yeah, and we are saying that that is not proper, Governor. Just give us the timelines. 2 years is too much time, unless you're saying you don't have the money to do the valuation. Because again, valuation is a very expensive exercise. We were talking one time when I was with you in 2020. Nyeri was saying that for them to do valuation, they required 500 million. That's quite a huge amount of money for budgets in our counties, unless maybe the national government helps us with finances. So what are the challenges? Because we want us to go on record, having assisted Murang'a people to collect more money. What are the timelines? You've hired a valuer, how much are you paying that person? What will you do? Public participation. We want to get an inkling of exactly what you're doing and the timelines, so that we can be comfortable as the Senate.
Okay, Chair, in terms of the cost, for us, it's cheap. We had found a reasonable and a legal way to do it, which is the engaging national government officials, because they only just require per diem. And we really want to thank them. We had some other engagements with them. They have done other roles which, if we had given out to private sector, they would have been too expensive. Like they did surveying of a land called Del Monte for about 4 million. So for this one, if I remember well, Chair, the invoice they gave us, I think was little money. I think not more than 7 million or so. So we had gotten away by circumventing private consultants. However, Chair, the only problem, and as Senator said, is the issue of public anti-tax view, which is currently in society. I also feel there are some things we are doing in urban areas. We are putting some cabros, some tamacking in almost all our shopping centers. We hope by the time now we shall tell them, okay, we have done this. Now we will give you a new valuation roll. the level of social acceptability will have been gone up because they will see, oh, it makes sense for them to pay a little bit more. That's the whole logic, Chair. Thank you. Give us 1 or 2 years. That's what we are asking. Let's say 1 or 2 years. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Senator Newt.
Chair, allow me to support the governor on this. Although Senator Dulo says that Murang'a must be a very rich county, but then we must have a balance, Chair, because we do not want, and as the governor has rightly put it, we do not want to subject our people to more taxes in terms of land rates, Chair. So I think it's important that we allow people to maybe digest the projects, understand and digest the projects and the impact that the projects the county government is doing to improve the business environment where these, especially plot owners, operate their businesses. And then, Chair, you know what the governor does not want to tell you, and the incoming governor of Kitui should know that even biblically, nobody wanted to see a tax collector. The governor is just saying, in short, that he doesn't want the label of tax collector, enhanced, especially because he will be defending his seat. But for me, speaking for the people of Murang'a, just a minute. So, Chair, I support the governor on this. Let's give the people of Murang'a some time. 2 years is not too long, Chair. So that then this evaluation can be done and maybe land rates adjusted at such a time, Chair.
You know, I don't agree completely with you. For me, I have a different way of looking at it. Let us have the correct values of the land. Let's do the valuation roll. But if you are charging 4% and you don't want people to pay more, you can bring down the percentage you're charging. But let us know the actual value for the land. Then if you want them to pay less or the equivalent amount, you can bring down the percentage you're charging. It is something that is in the finance bill, isn't it? You don't need the national government to do any law. You do it in the finance bill. So I think let's get the value for the land, then reduce the percentage. When that right time comes, then you can adjust the percentage. Yeah, but let's do the valuation. When there's that opportunity to do it, let's do it now and adjust the percentages downwards. That's my feeling. So you're saying, let's give it time, but this audit query will remain until such a time when that valuation role is complete. I think we don't need to belabor.
I wanted to ask a question.
Just go on record first.
Cherargei member.
Before you go on, there's another person who just came in, the ESCC. Please also go on record. He just came in after we started.
Patricia Chebet, liaison from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
Thank you. Senator Momoy can go. Cherargei can go on.
So maybe, Governor, who is this who signed on behalf of Judy Mbaro? The responses on management.
Thank you, Chair. Director, Mr. Gakaho.
Who is he?
He is the director.
Is he the designated receiver of revenue?
Yeah, the chief officer is on leave. She is on leave.
No, but who is he? Who is that? Is he receiver of? Who is the receiver of revenue?
Chief Officer Judy Baru, who is currently on leave, on an extended leave.
So, Director, what is his role? The one who signed this management responses on behalf?
He is the one now discharging the roles that were being discharged by Judy, who is currently on leave.
Is there any proof to show that he was working on behalf of or acting on behalf of Judy?
We can provide, Chair.
That's very interesting. You are a lawyer, Governor. You should know better about administration. I find this is careless. Thank you, Chair. I yield.
Okay, because that closed that chapter on ROR. We can go to the accounts for the executive. Variance between statements of receipts. Auditor number 1, variance between the statement of receipts and payments in IFMIS. Is it something you can address here, or you keep it in view in the subsequent audits?
Thank you, Chair. We are currently undertaking the audit. We are almost completing, so we can keep it in for the next audit. Because this is an issue which is touching on IPMIS, which is run by Treasury, which is more outside the county executive.
Treasury, you want to say something on the same issue?
Chair, I tend to think even the county itself are saying that they have contacted Treasury, they are doing the training. So I tend to think we should wait and see how that training will work on the county.
Very well. You can leave it out. Auditor, we can look at unreconciled pending bills.
Thank you, Chair. We had an issue on unreconciled pending bills amounting to 412.
Just read it.
The financial statement reflects pending bills totaling 1,342,502,610, which includes 412,257,670 pending accounts payables. However, available records reveal Kenya shillings 397,460,619. Hence, there was a variance of 14,797,051.
Governor, point us to your responses. Where are they?
Thank you, Chair. I think the responses in that single document shared with the members.
Okay.
That one.
It's reading the certificate, the question, the query.
Yes.
I think the OAG didn't finish. Can you finish?
Reading the query.
Yeah.
OAG, did you finish reading the query? Let me see. Oh, you didn't finish reading the query, please. Just finish it up.
Father?
Thank you, Chair. Further, it was also noted that Annex 2 and Annex 3 to the financial statements did not disclose detailed analysis of individual pending bills as prescribed by reporting template issued by the Public Sector Accountants Standard Board. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Governor.
Thank you, Chair. The actual figures.
Senator.
The OAG didn't finish reading the question because the last part says, in the circumstances, the validity and accuracy and completeness of the...
Senator Chirargei. It's okay. We can still manage without that part.
No, but Chair, it is not complete because the query, just listen to the final part, amounting to Kenya shillings 1,342,502,610 could not be confirmed.
Yes.
So the query is the confirmation of that amount. So it's good he finishes so that when the governor answers, it is easy for us to follow.
You come with a lot of energy, Senator. Senator Chirargei. Okay, let's see, Governor. Let's get the response.
Where is that response?
Chair, the actual
there's a book
figures.
like this. Just pick it here. On page 3. Yes.
Page 3.
Yes, Governor, just go ahead. Let's wait for the Senator Murang'a to first of all get to the page.
Page 3.
Conduct detail of individual pending. Yeah.
Yes, I'm there, Chair. I'm there. Thank you.
Governor, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. The actual figures of pending accounts payable balance are 412,257,670, 412,257,670 shillings as per the attached list relating to unpaid suppliers and pending staff payables of Kenya shillings 930,244,940 shillings. But the current status of the query at the end of that document is the county executive has identified the training needs and the skill gaps of staff serving in the finance department and has requested the National Treasury to train its staff. The county executive has engaged the National Treasury in IFMI's cleaning and capacity building of the finance department. This is evidenced by attached correspondences to the National Treasury. The county executive staff have attended various trainings on accrual basis of accounting conducted by PSASB and ISPAC. Attached find annexure 1C, training needs assessment.
Audit out is still outstanding in that query.
Thank you, Chair. The issue was we were querying the unreconciled.
Just project a bit.
Thank you, Chair. We were querying the issue of unreconciled pending bills amounts. So, but when the committee sat, of course, they came up with remedial actions, including the training and so forth, and I think that is what the county is responding.
Yes, yes. Do you think that is a question of capacity and so as an administrative action, training is okay? Or do you think you need further reconciliation?
Yes, one of the key remedial action is, of course, training for the
Yes.
that capacity, and including also the technical aspect in terms of the ITMIS. But the issue, according to our observation, was that unreconciled amount.
That variance?
Yes.
Has that variance been explained now? It was not explained then. Has it been explained now? That variance of 14,797,051.
Thank you, Chair. They are provided annexures, but in terms of now and reconcile, it has not been addressed. But we are saying, since we are having an ongoing audit, maybe you can be able to check whether they have done what is, they can be able to explain now. But as we speak, the thing is still pending.
Is something you can keep in view?
Chair,
Yes, Senator Chiragi.
but the status implementation of our committee was that the management provided of pending bills but did not conduct a detailed analysis of individual pending bills. So where is this?
They're supposed to do what?
They were supposed to, they provided a list of pending but did not conduct a detailed analysis of individual pending bills. They just gave a clip, it's our recommendation. I'm following on committee observation.
It's not here.
It is
Have
here.
you looked at annex?
Yeah.
Have we looked at that annex, Chair? Annex 1.
Annex 1.
What do you want?
But this one is on training needs assessment. I'm talking about the individual pending bills.
Yes?
The analysis, where is the analysis of individual pending bills? This one is just on a training needs assessment.
Yes, Governor. Where is the analysis on the pending bills?
And it is not in your financial statements. And then number 2, Chair, so that he can answer 2,
Yes.
is these staff payables of 930,244,940. What does it comprise of?
Have you
Governor,
broken down the staff payables?
and
Okay,
tell
Chief.
us what is the reason. Then the earlier one was, because I can see you are consulting, is on the detailed analysis of individual pending bills, because it's not in your financial statements.
Okay, Chair, this big booklet this big booklet contains all individual pending bills and the plans for payments.
Is it in total? This one, the entire of it? This is 30 million? That is
Yes,
total.
Chair.
How much have you paid?
So, Chair, page 3 of the document. Page 3 of the document. The wrap list.
Page 3. Page 3, you have paid how much? I can see the projected outstanding balance. Why is it projected of 620,978,433? Of total 1.9 billion.
How much was it?
Why are you reading that?
It's wonderful.
Okay.
Looks like Murang'a has a lot of papers.
By last time.
Okay, that's not page 3. It is the beginning, page 3. It's not.
Yes,
page
Chair.
later.
By last financial year, that will be 30th of June 2025, the pending bill was 1.9 billion. 1.9 billion. This is when you look at the first quarter, we are proposing to pay 837 million. The second quarter, 232. The third quarter, 100 million. The fourth quarter, 129 million. And that we, until we pay 1.9 billion. So the first quarter means the month up to 30th of September 2025. So this money we have paid already.
837 million.
So you have paid 837 million?
Yes, the first quarter. So we are talking of the claims by staff. Yeah, there was some money for staff that needs to be paid, some money for contractors, some money for allowances by staff and some CHP.
Chair, let me interrupt. So when you say staff growth and deductions, does it mean statutory deductions?
Yeah, there was some money that we crossed over that belonged to the staff. We mean their salaries. At times we do cross over into the new financial year, their salaries. So as per the practice, we must capture that as a pending bill. Whereas, you know, when at times contractors only, we even declare any staff money that we have crossed over into the new year, which you have delayed, let's say delayed or something, you have to capture it as a pending bill. So when you see this amount, it basically means, let's say, a salary that you ought to have paid, let's say, on 30th of June 2025, but you are now paying it, let's say, 10th of July 2025, because it crossed into the new financial year.
Chair,
Can you too?
would the governor clarify that these staff pending bills are only those that relate to the final month or the last month of the financial year? And Chair, why I'm that interested in that is because I am serving in the Committee on Labor, and there are issues of deductions that are not remitted to the relevant bodies, Chair. So would the governor confirm and clarify that for these pending bills relating to staff payables, that they're just for the last month of the financial year, Chair?
Chair, and in addition, so that just to wrap it up is, I hope it is not only deductions where salaries were paid and then deductions was not done. Maybe the governor can clarify.
Yeah, I think that's a very important question. a cross-cutting issue across the counties. Some are not even remitting loans and shares to cooperatives, even bank loans. Now it is SHA. No. Can you disaggregate these staff payables? Is it possible to know how much?
Yes, on every month, the staff amounts of Murang'a is about 350 million shillings. So that then means on and above that, about 100 million will be some other forms of deductions, and which we at times we usually pay, and but of course that does not mean we don't have some arrears here and there. Some are historical, so you have to. That's why we have to capture them. You have to keep on paying them.
In these documents, Governor, do you have that breakdown? If it is not there, then we request you to bring that breakdown.
Yes,
because for us it's very important.
We can provide, Chair.
7 days. I think we can't belabor on this because that data is not here. Let's have it, that breakdown on these staff payables. What constitutes salaries? Yes, or do you understand before I finish?
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted also to raise the issue of pending bills was also appearing under other matters, where we were querying the aspect of the law requires that pending bill be paid as past charge the previous year. But we were looking at it, there were some pending bills dating back to 2015 up to, so we were saying why that long. That was another issue which we addressed at the other matters.
Okay.
Chair, allow me to also maybe write on to what the auditor has said.
So it's actually saying that then you can look at what was there in the other paragraph, then you look at them together. There's another query in the emphasis of matter on pending bills. Then we look at them together. Yeah, let's just look at it.
Chair, there is something.
Yes,
that
I know,
request.
but I'm saying, you know, there's a query on pending bills again.
Okay.
And the other matter, the emphasis of matter.
Okay.
So let's let him go through it, then I will look at them both.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. This is pending bills, paragraph number 2, under emphasis of matter. The financial statements reflects Kenya shillings 412 million.
Page 5 on your document, yes. Yes, just go on.
The financial statements reflect Kenya shillings 412, 257, 670, and Kenya shillings 930 million, 244, 940 in respect to pending bills, both totaling to Kenya shillings 1 billion, 342, 502, 610 as at 30th June 2024, as disclosed in other important disclosures, notes 1 and 2, and as also disclosed in annexes 2 and 3. The amount includes Kenya shillings 448 million, 144, 408 in respect to pending bills from the previous years dating back to the financial year 2015-2016. The management did not provide explanation why the accumulated pending bills were not prioritized, contrary to Regulation 41, subsection 2 of the Public Finance Management County Government Regulations 2015, which states that debt service payments shall be a first charge on the county revenue fund, and the accounting officer shall ensure that this is done to the extent possible, that the county government does not default on debt obligations. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, just give us a response.
Yes, allow me to go straight to the current status. The county executive has been settling its pending bills conclusively. We have attached a report on status of pending bills, payment plan, and included in the pending bills in the procurement plan. Financial year 2024-2025, procurement plan extract on pending bills. Attached find annexure 2A, pending bill status report and payment plan. 2B, extract of the financial year 2024-2025 procurement plan. 2D, progress report on the settlement of pending bills as at 30th of June 2024. The county always completes its existing projects before starting new ones. Attached, find Annex 2. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, what the auditor is saying is that in the payment of your pending bills, you are not adhering to the in, first out, in that you have even pending bills dating back to 2015, 2016 financial year. If the goods and services were provided in that year, why is it that those pending bills have not been paid to date? Is it that they are ineligible? What is the reason? For example, if it was a classroom, ECD classroom that was being constructed, it is constructed and in use. Why aren't you paying those pending bills? Senator, you wanted to ask something?
I actually, Chair, think in the course of it that I had not looked at Annex 2. It's what I'm trying to look at, but I was just concerned whether the county government, the current county government, was able to verify the pending bills of their predecessors. But I think, Chair, I think this is answered in Annex 2, which is what I'm trying to go through. But Chair, let me underscore the fact that pending bills need to be settled so that, Chair, the economy of the county, because most of the suppliers and the contractors are people from within the county. So, Chair, it's important that we settle pending bills.
Governor.
Yes, Chair.
Question the auditors are asking is that they are pending bills dating back to 2015, 2016. You have that plan to pay, but are you prioritizing them? That is basically the query.
Yes, Chair, we have been paying, and we have been given priority to the old debts. And Chair, we can be able to bring evidence of payments of verified pending bills that were incurred prior to us coming into office, and we can be able to show that which were deemed as.
When did you carry out the verification of the pending bills? If you did, do you have a report? That's what your senator is asking, Senator Newt.
Yes, Chair, we do have a report. We did it within 3 months when we came into office. That would be the month of October, November, December. And we have a report that shows what went through, what was deemed ineligible.
Is it attached here?
We can provide within 7 days, Chair, and the minutes and the appointment, even the procedure of appointment of the committee. And we show to what extent we have gone towards paying those old debts that were deemed payable, Chair. Thank you.
And auditor, these statements are supposed to have a schedule of pending bills. I can't see them. Have you put all of them, or you remove some parts, clerk? I can't see the schedule of pending bills and these certificates. Do you have them?
Yeah, this is what we raised in the earlier observation, that further, it was also noted that Annex 2 and 3 to the financial statements did not disclose the detailed analysis. We raised this in the issue.
Oh, that's what you mean by detailed analysis?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so Governor, your statements did not provide a detailed analysis of the pending bills. That's why I'm not very able to really follow. And the print that is here is too small. I think I'm getting old. I can't read. I can't read what is happening.
Yes,
here.
you certainly are getting old, Chair, like everybody else here.
So, Governor, when you are paying the pending bills, do you follow that first in, first out? Can you demonstrate that?
Chair, we do, and we can provide evidence.
Auditor, how do we?
But there was a question. The pending bills for way back 2015. What is the
When I
problem?
asked that same question right now, yes, and they said that they are trying to pay. I think you're talking to this.
2015.
Yes, and they said they have a document they'll provide within 7 days. Governor, give us the report of. You have the report of the. Okay. Yes, that was the response he gave.
So this one we are seeing.
So that means by next year you would have cleared your work plan as far as spending is concerned. Is that the position now?
Yes, Chair, maybe if you don't mind,
Yes.
I can draw your attention to Annexure 2D.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask.
Annexure 2D
Yeah.
of this document.
First, Governor, you have said plan pending bills. I'm happy you are using the word plan. Then you have said pending bills, tarehe sita November 2024. And then this one of 2B.
Okay, to be there.
But it's not legible, Chair, unless you can see.
No, me, I can't.
Yeah. Because I can see on the weapon you too.
Yeah, it's important that we ask whoever prepares these documents to do a larger font next time. Yeah, and paginate, because I can hardly see, read
No,
the
maybe
figures.
we can just go to the first page that shows the summary.
Which
where
one?
2D, just where we have put
B or D?
D for donkey.
Yeah, D.
D for
Yes,
dada.
yes, yes, D.
Okay, let's see.
it is
what
here.
there.
D is better.
So you can see our historical debts were 412 million.
From which year?
Anything before 2024
Okay.
it was 412. Amount paid was 280. We are only left with 131 million.
But I can see most of them are recent. 2022, 2020, Chair.
Maybe, Chair, we can go to page 4. Page 4. If you go to page 4, in the middle, you'll see these 2021 amounts, avocado seedlings. The first column was the amount, the second amount is when it was paid, the last one, the outstanding balance. You can see there is no, it reads everything has been paid for 2021.
Chair, I think I'm getting mixed up, Chair. So because when the governor says that,
Page 4. Which one?
or just a minute, Senator Cherargei, please. When the governor refers us to Annex 2D for dog and says that the historical debts were 412 million and something, and that only 131 has not been paid. There was an earlier report of a particular payment plan where 870 million have already been paid for this quarter. There's an amount for next quarter. And so, which is which then? I mean, what did that relate to?
Yes, Chair, as you can see, this document is written Progress Report on Settling Pending Bill as at 30th of June 2024. That is last year. Now, the other one was 2025, this year. So, meaning we are talking of the pending bills that accumulated in the financial year. And for this one, why the amount may have gone up, that's why we have said there was some spillovers into the new financial year, like salaries, such.
Chair, I think the governor had explained. Can we, I want to follow up on what Senator Nyuso has. So you had said here in this, this big page, 837 million had been paid. But you gave us total of 1.9 billion outstanding pending bill. Then here you are telling us historical pending bill is 131,804,979. So in this 191.9 billion, what does it comprise? This is just a global figure.
Governor?
Chair, allow me to go back to this big document.
Yes, we are there.
So we start with the amount. The amount is 1.9 billion. Then, yes, when you look at the supplier contractor, it is 695 in total. Then when you come to salaries, anything concerning salaries and whatever gratuity, it is 1.1 billion. Staff allowances, they are 30 million. So that comes to 1.9 billion. Why is it that the staff, we declared huge amounts for staff? It is purely because of the crossing over. You know, you have to declare what we crossed over with some salaries. But when you come to the actual contractors, this is the amount. The contractors are 695. So the point is, for contractors, the amount was little, and that's why you can see the contractors was little. The contractor amount was not a lot.
Yeah, but still we need to do a better job here. We need to give an aging analysis of these pending bills, because we don't know the ones that were incurred in 2023-24, 22-23. We cannot make the long and short of this. We don't know where the 695 million was incurred. You've just given us this action plan, but when was it incurred? Is it possible to get an aging analysis so that you know before maybe 2022-23 how much we had as pending bills, then 23-24 how much was incurred, 23-24-25 how much was incurred? Then you can make a good analysis of them. But the way it is now, it's difficult to follow. Extremely difficult.
Chair.
Yes.
Number one, we just wanted to know what is the current status as far as salary and allowances are concerned. And I wonder why could a county have pending bills on salaries and allowances?
Governor?
What is the current status on that pending bill as of now?
Okay, Chair.
More specifically on salary and allowances.
Okay, Chair. Okay, one, our staff have been paid. Let's start from there. They don't have we have not paid them. In fact, we pay them on time. But in terms of reporting for accounting purposes, that changes a little bit. Why? Because the report has to read the status as at 30th of June 2025. So if by that time you have not paid salaries, let's say you pay in the month of July 10th or July 5th, you have to declare that in your books that it is a pending bill. So the point is that high declaration of salaries, it means they were not settled or paid as at 30th of June.
The current status, the second question.
The second question on status, we have paid. We are in terms of employees, they themselves, we have paid, but we have, there's 1 month that tends to roll over. Allow me maybe to give Bwana Gesheha to explain further how that works.
Thank you, Bwana Chairman. Yes, when we rolled over from the last financial year into this financial year, you realize that we have a spill over. Every month of June, it spills over to the next financial year because of budgetary constraints. Unless we will be able to budget for 13 months, which is impossible because of the ratios. the budgetary issues. So
Just
when
point
we
of
rolled,
order, Chair,
Senator Cherargei.
you know, Governor has hold on that issue of rollover, close over, which we have understood. I think what Senator Dulo is asking through the chair is what is the current status? We have understood the principle why the pending bill is as of today.
Okay, I think the question is on this component, we have paid.
So what is the pending bill as of today in Murang'a County Executive?
For what exactly? Goods
For
and
this,
services or
we-
staff payables? Or combined?
No, since he has, you know, I found it interesting that there was the issue of stipend payables in terms of title reductions and salary. Is that what you are saying? So there are people who are working in Murang'a who their salary is yet to be paid up to today.
No, Chair.
So it's only statutory deductions.
We have paid salaries. No one has not been paid
So
salaries.
who do you owe this amount? Maybe this is interesting, Chair. Who do you owe this amount of staff payables?
Okay.
Is it the bank? Is it who?
Yes, there is a bank.
Yeah, then you
Yes,
should
there's
have
a bank.
disclosed. Which bank?
Family Bank. And also 3 banks. One Family Bank, and also Amica and Menta.
So, Chair, that is why I was
But
asking
not
at the
this
beginning.
amount now, because it has gone down.
Paid.
So as of today, just for clarity of mind, as of today, these banks you owe them is 495,823 million.
No,
as by
Chair.
your schedule.
No, Chair. It has gone down because we have already paid.
No, as by the time this document was prepared.
Yeah. So,
Just go to your document, Governor. Because I'm seeing June Chair 2025 staff gross salary and deduction gratuity projected outstanding balance is 495 million.
Allow me to yield to Professor to explain the 495 or the chief.
Yeah, and
officer.
then number 2, since the bank is being owed, the governor should give us an arrangement on how these banks and even the interest rates. Because I don't think banks work come as a duck. There must be some interest rates. That is why Chair asked in the beginning, what was the status of this? So, Governor, through the Chair, as your CC explains, you should give us the arrangement that you have done with the banks.
And maybe as Professor answers, how do these staff payables come about? You said one way is because then you're not able to plan for 13 months, and therefore the salary for June would be paid in July, and so that salary would cross over as staff payable. The other one is for maybe loans. When you, I've had this explanation from most counties, that when you borrow from the bank to pay, because of late disbursement, you borrow net, excluding all the deductions, statutory deductions. But finally, the Treasury releases all the money. What constrains you not to pay the statutory deductions at that time? And then they exist as pending bills for years. What happens? What is the problem?
Professor?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Maybe I can explain in terms of the 495 million that is owing at the moment. As the governor has said, this amount has definitely gone down because we've been paying. But the bulk of it comes from, in 1 month, we usually pay around 350 million for salaries. So when we roll over in June and we are able to borrow from the bank instead of using what we are getting from the exchequer, that borrowing from the bank comes to around 350. Yeah, so you can see the bulk of this money, 495, it's actually that 350 million. But as we move forward, once we are able to adjust our spending, we are still going to be able to pay that from the exchequer releases that we are getting, where we get 350, we pay, and then we are able to slow down on some other expenditure. For instance, like development expenditure, we are able to slow down on those ones so that we can absorb the 1 month that we are not able to pay. So the figure is just high because of that 1 month, which comes to around 350 million.
So confusing.
Yeah.
Yes, allow me maybe also to allow Gisheha to build up on that.
Let Senator Irungu ask, then Michelle would go.
Yes.
You to know the room.
It's okay.
Senator, you know he's also
You know,
senator.
you know, in Murang'a we say that as long as a child grows, the name does not matter. If you look at your, what do you call this? They have referred to me as John Nyutu. I'm actually not John, but I don't care because I'm still growing. Chair, I'm yet to understand. If you look at that same page, the pending bills as at 30th June 2025 totaled to 1.195 billion. And the explanation that keeps coming over, Chair, is that it's because of the spillover to the next financial year. So exactly where does this 1.1, how do you explain this 1.195 billion? And I'm referring to just staff, salary deductions and gratuity. Exactly how do we end up, if we are paying 350 million in salaries, Professor, every month, how do we come to this 1.195 billion as pending bills relating to staff payables?
Senator Dulo, you want to ask?
No, Chair,
Yes.
if I heard the governor very well, he said we don't owe staff any outstanding salary. That's number one. Number two, the figures we are seeing here, he's saying it's a spillover, carry forward for the purpose of end of financial year, which according to my understanding, by July, you should have cleared everything. And that is why I had asked, what is the current status as far as salaries and allowances are concerned? And of course, you might not have cleared the contractors and other people. So you are actually confusing us because there is no proper explanation. If salary for 1 month is 350 million, and the figures of pending bills is 1.195, so that is not for 1 month.
Yeah, maybe
It's more than a month.
I can explain that one,
Yeah.
Chair.
Governor?
Through the governor. I can explain that, as the governor had said, we were also dealing with some historical deductions that were not done by the previous government, and that's why you see that figure is a bit high than.
It's not explained in this document.
Exactly, yeah. So the historical debts
Yeah,
from the
before, so that we don't lose that. So what did you do about that? You know it's criminal to deduct but not pay. So Governor, what did you do about it? Because Chair is saying he deducted but no remit. It's a criminal offense.
That's why
So
I
what,
said even,
and you ask a very important question, you are boring in net, so we want to know the interest. I think those are the key issues. And also, even when there is delay in month of July, the National Treasury allows you to ensure you offset any other rollover from the previous financial year. So Chair, if the governor can answer the three, then we will be home and dry.
Governor?
Yes, Chair. Yes, I think allow me to break down the question that I've been asked. This 1.195 entails what? So he is right. 350 million is salaries, right? Then on and above that, we have money owing to other institutions. That includes CPF, lab trust. Yeah, amount by lab trust, CPF combined comes to almost 600, 700, 800 million. It's a huge amount. What are we doing about it? Chair, we have written, we had first an informal engagement with them personally. We met the CEOs of the two institutions. We told them, now look, this amount you're asking, you want us now to take exchequer, we pay you this amount. I think you need to be a little bit more open to new ideas. So we gave them a proposition which they agreed informally. We told them we can do a debt swap. We'll give them land they will then write off these debts out of their books. And we met as a cabinet. We endorsed that idea. We wrote to them letters. We were next draft MOUs for them to look into that.
Do you have any annexure to what you're pointing? Point us to what you're saying. Do you have those annexes? If not, maybe you can provide.
We can provide.
Yes.
Chair, I think we need to you are ruling, and maybe the governor, because those are things he should have explained, like the issue of lab trust and lab fund, the issue of banks. So, Chair, maybe he should also give us this. You have asked a question which is avoided on the net borrowing, because we need to know that percentage and how the banks, the arrangement they have made, because I don't think banks will allow you to borrow without a specific conditions. So if we can answer about, maybe, Chair, since this 1.9 billion pending bill is not clear, you can direct that apart from that explanation, we might need to direct also the OAG through you to also give view of this. Because that clarity has been moving from salaries, staff payables, to bank borrowing, to also the contractors and many others, and even claims, including allowances. Because in that year, Chair, if you look at the certificate, they have also queried the issue of interest. So I suspect it could be part of what we are calling staff claims and even allowances. So, Chair, I think there is more than miss there. You need to.
You know, Governor Kang'ata sat in this committee and we used to drink from his wisdom in this committee and in the Senate, being a majority whip.
But he whipped me when he came to this committee.
So, Governor, you understand these things. Why I'm crying that we should have an aging analysis. We need to know for CPF how much was inherited from the former local authorities. How much was it and what we are doing about it in terms of correspondences with CPF. What agreements do you have around that? How much are you going to pay maybe per month once you get your exchequer release? There is interest to CPF. So have you negotiated so that they drop that interest? Other counties have done that, and I know because you have a very good experience, and you know Murang'a is doing very well. Murang'a, I think, is one of the counties that we quote every day when we're in this committee and outside there, as a county where devolution is working. So some of these things, and I know you got a lot of experience from this committee, we need to know exactly how much is owed by the contractors and the staff, and why the staff should not be paid. If it is rollover of salaries, how much is it? 350 million. But Treasury finally gives that money. So if you are borrowing to pay, and the year is over, and all the money has been released by the Treasury, why do we still owe employees money? And how do you expect to pay CPF for the current deductions? Maybe leaving the historical money, like the ones by the local authorities, which then you are saying you can do some swap. That is the explanation that we want in this committee, so that then you can be comfortable. There is an attempt to make sure that the staff, a gratuity is paid, and when they retire, they'll get their gratuity. We want to be comfortable as defenders of devolution. So where is this 1.19558 coming from? Are you able to break it down if you gave it time, like 1 week? 1 week, you break it down for us, so that the auditors can get view of it, and all of us also ask, we can also get view of it. Is it possible to do that?
Yes, Chair, we will do that item by item. We come to suppliers contract, this 695, how much has been paid so far, how much is outstanding. We come to this 1.1, how much has been paid so far,
how much has been accumulated per year.
Per year. What is the proposal we have sent to CPF and Lab Trust, and also even NSSF. We have written to the 3 institutions. Then we come to the staff claims and CHPs. how much is outstanding, how much has been paid. In 1 week, we can come up with that.
Members, do you think we need to follow through this, or we have done adequate justice to it?
Chair, my proposal is that let the OAG keep in view and the governor can give what he's proposing, then we do analysis on it. Since this is something, since they are appearing in January, they are February, on the financial year 2024-2025, we can keep in view because I know it will come as other matters.
And that is the type of explanation that we want. Please disaggregate these pending bills. Let's know what was incurred when as a pending bill and how much you've paid so far. I think we don't need to belabor this issue. Governor, you are a very experienced hand, having learned from this Senate. Some of us really adore you, and maybe also get in touch with the officers as you're preparing this so that you can also guide them. Governor, Auditor, the next paragraph is?
Thank you, Chair. The next paragraph is on budgetary control and performance.
That is an accounting issue. Do you think we can resolve it here?
No, this is a common.
Yeah, it's a generic issue. We can leave it so that you keep it in view in the subsequent audit, in the ongoing audit. Next one we want to look at is compensation of employees.
Chair, the next issue is the common one also, that non-adherence to the loan.
That one we don't need to look at it. Kenya is quite tribal. Murang'a.
Maybe, Chair, since that one it's a generic.
Okay. Maybe you want us to get a feel of it? Let's see. 1.2.
This one is.
Let him just go through it.
Okay, establishment law.
Non-adherence to law on staff ethnic diversity. Auditor.
Thank you, Chair. Non-adherence to the law on staff ethnic diversity, an analysis of the staff ethnicity from the records provided revealed that 93% of employees of the county executive were from the same ethnic community, contrary to Section 7, subsection 2 of the National Cohesion and Integration Act 2008, which provides that no public establishment shall have more than 1/3 of its staff from the same ethnic community. In addition, during the year, the county executive employed 39 staff members. However, analysis of the records provided revealed that 87.18% of the employees recruited were from the dominant ethnic community. This is contrary to Section 65, subsection 1E of the County Government Act 2012, which requires that at least 30% of vacant posts at the entry level are filled by candidates who are not from the dominant ethnic community. In the circumstances, management was in breach of the law. Thank you, Chair.
Governor.
Yes, the county executive is working progressively towards attaining the requirements of the law in all future recruitments. Maybe, Chair, further, we had a public service board that we found there. Is the one that does the recruitments. Its term has ended. We thought maybe as a way towards remedying this problem, we bring in members who are majority are non-Kikuyus. Now we have one Dr. Lishenga, who is from Luya region. We have Dr. Musikali. Yeah.
Maybe just on clarity, the one who is Rupa, the one rural hospitals, Prior Lishenga.
Allow me to check that. I'll check that.
No, Chair, but the governor is being mischievous because Dr. Brian Lishenga is the CEO of rural hospitals, the Rupa. Is it the same person? Private hospitals?
Yeah, yes.
Why would you hire somebody who already running is more an activist?
Oh, no.
No, it's interesting, Chair, because as a unionist, I don't know, it's Rupa is the
Why should
CEO
you fear unionists?
urban private hospitals.
Why do you want to fear unionists?
No, it's not fearing, but I'm asking this likely to conflict because he's representing interest of rural private hospitals. Yet he's working with a county government. Will it not conflict?
Well, the truth is just because he is a medical doctor and one, he has taught medicine at Egerton University.
No,
Yes,
through the
allow
chair,
me-
I'm not
allow
questioning
me-
credibility through the chair. My issue is we did pass the law on conflict of interest
Why?
the other day. And there are some parameters under the law. Because my worry is that he's a champion of rural private hospitals. So how can you, is not, unless he has resigned, has he resigned?
I don't know, but I don't see a conflict, Chair.
It's a conflict of interest. That is why you cannot practice as an advocate and as a governor. That is what we pass in the law, Chair. You cannot practice as a teacher and as a senator. That's what the new law says. Who is your county attorney? Is he here or she is here?
No, Chair, I will have to check, Chair.
You know, Governor, I love you because you might be sued or you might be taken to court because you are making executive decisions.
Okay, Chair.
Yeah, can I request this? Can the governor report back if Dr. Brian Lishenga has resigned as the CEO of rural private hospitals to now take up responsibility in Murang'a County Executive, so that that conflict is not there? And you know,
But
it's,
is he the CEC for...
no, it's the fact that he works, and that is why you are a teacher. You cannot continue teaching in Voi Girls and you are the senator. The law is very clear. Don't you think so, Governor?
Okay, Chair.
Can you go to court and you are a governor? Can you represent a client and you are a governor? As per the new law of conflict of interest.
I will have to check, but I don't see anything that would bar me. Yeah. In fact, there have been some case law on that issue. We were with you, Chair, when Orengo, Senator Mogeni here used to represent the Senate in
But the
court.
Senate, not clients.
Even yours truly, my friend Cherargei, has represented clients. And I don't see anything that, as long as it is not...
But before, Chair, before the signing of the new law of conflict of interest, you need to be conversant with it. Because I don't want you to finish your 2-term, then you are being frog-marched by some fellows who are overzealous. Tell Brian Lishenga to resign from CEO Rupa and join the government of Murang'a. Then you will be safe. I yield back, Chair.
Governor, just go ahead and answer the query.
Yes, we have Dr. Musikali, who is from the Kamba region. Dr. Musikali also is non-committed. So we hope with the two coming in from non-dominant, maybe when recruitments will be done, probably that might assuage this problem.
The part that I want you to address is on this observation that we made as a committee, that out of 39 staff members, 34 of whom are from the dominant ethnic community, contrary to the law, give us the people who had applied for the job. Let us see the ethnic diversity of the applicants. And then now we compare with the ones who got the job, the 34. Because your answer was that not many people apply for jobs in Murang'a. But I think they do apply. As Senator Cherargei said, you are very near Nairobi. So I want to imagine many people applied. Can you give us that list of applicants, the shortlisted people, and the employed people? Yeah, and if they employ from while you are there, you can protest a bit that this is the law, why are you not following the law? So let's wait for that in 1 week. Give us that list, give us that information so that we see how we can mitigate on this query. Auditor, the 1.4, 1.3, 1.4, that's generic, 1/3 basic salary rule, it's because of the overtaxation. 1.4, fiscal responsibility. A bit generic, and leave it out. But let's look at 2.0. Failure to adhere to the fiscal responsibility principles on budget allocation to the county assembly. But also this one is generic because of the regulations and the CARA law. We are the ones who pass CARA. So you might want not to look at it because we are the ones who pass the CARA. But you can look at 3.0, irregularity on interest management. Auditor.
Thank you, Chair. Paragraph 3.0, irregularity on interest management. The statement of assets and liabilities, and as disclosed under Note 14 to the financial statements, reflects Kenya shillings 2,794,575 in respect of outstanding interest and advances as at 30 June 2024. The amount represents unsurrendered interest issued to various officers, some dating back to September 2023. It was not clear why the respective officers did not account for the interest or why the employer did not institute a recovery from the officers. This is contrary to Regulation 93, subsection 5 of the Public Finance Management County Government Regulations 2015, which states that a holder of a temporary interest shall account or surrender the interest within 7 working days after returning to duty station. Further, management failed to operationalize the interest management module in the Integrated Financial Management Information System, IFMIS, and hence failed to enforce the use of system in the management of interest. In the circumstances, management was in breach of the law. Thank you, Chair.
Governor.
The county executive has issued a sanction and surcharge circular on outstanding interest to all accounting officer. Attached, find Annexure 3, circular to accounting officers on interest surrender. Also Annexure 1. Thank you, Chair.
Auditor, what is still outstanding in that query?
Thank you, Chair. The issue is addressed according to, because we have seen the payment vouchers, which are...
Oh, sorry, it's addressed, yeah? Okay. They have been surcharged.
Yes, Chair.
You have view of that, yeah?
Yes.
With interest of 7%.
Chair, they only accounted for the amount which was outstanding. So,
What?
but will be able to confirm. Otherwise, they recovered all the money which was outstanding as interest.
Yeah, but it will be addressed because the law says you must recover with interest. So it will be addressed only when interest has been charged. Now, sorry, I'll take you back to query number 1.4, please, Auditor, on fiscal responsibility and wage bill. I didn't look at the figure, it's 54%. That is quite high. Please go through the query.
Thank you, Chair. Paragraph 1.4, failure to comply with fiscal responsibility principles on wage bill. The statement of receipts and payments, and as disclosed in Note 3 to the financial statements, reflects Kenya shillings 3,685,639,768 in respect to compensation of employees, which represents 54% of the total county government revenue of Kenya shillings 6,783,549,529. This is contrary to Regulation 25, subsection 1B of the Public Finance County Government Regulations 2015, which states that the county government's expenditure on wages and benefits for its public officers shall not exceed 35% of the county government's total revenue. In the circumstances, management was in breach of the law. Thank you, Chair.
Governor.
The county inherited a large number of staff at the onset of devolution. In addition, the SRC reviewed salaries and allowances for public officers upwards. In light of this, the executive has put in place measures to enhance own source revenue collection to address the high wage bill gap. And maybe further to this, Chair,
Yes.
the county has froze employment except in critical areas of health.
Yes, let's
Number
just find
8.
our members first.
Number 8.
Let's find our members.
Number 8 of this big
It's on the
document,
blue document.
and the response is on the end, page 8. Yes, Chair.
Are you there, members? Yes, just go ahead. You wanted to add something on your written from your written response?
Yes, Chair, we have also frozen employment except in critical areas of health and to a small extent ECD teachers, and also they also come as interns except doctors who come under contract. Thank you, Chair.
You are saying teachers come as interns.
Yes, because we are unable to pay because of this query.
So how long do they work as interns?
1 year, Chair.
And then?
We send them home, another set comes in.
No. You are told by Senator Cherargei, I've been a teacher for many years. Teachers mature like wine. When they start teaching, they mature. In fact, at the 7th year, they should be doing their own methodology and pedagogies, developing different pedagogies. So when you send them home and bring others new ones, they will not mature. So we recommend that they are just employed on P and P, just like nurses and doctors. You can look at other ways like increasing on-source revenue. That's acceptable. But then again, you know, it's I don't know how you're doing it because you're saying you're not updating your valuation role. So try to look for ways of increasing on-source revenue, and maybe for the people who retire, you don't replace them. Those could be better things, but employing interns doesn't work very well. Yes, Senator Newt?
Yes, you remember we were with you, the chair, at the Education Committee, and we passed a bill that OECD teachers are supposed to be employed on permanent and pensionable basis. And because we passed that when I was chair of that committee, and Murang'a is my county, I think we would want to implore the governor to look at other ways of saving on the county wage bill, other than employing teachers on an intern basis. It's very important. And also, Chair, if you can remember, we said that we, going forward, we will recognize what we call individual teacher qualification, so that a degree holder is not paid the same with a diploma holder and a certificate holder. So, Chair, I think we want to emphasize that because this is a foundational stage of any learner, that we, I don't want to tell the governor what to do and what not to do, but as we feed our kids with uji, it's important that their teachers are also made comfortable, and that will be by following what we recommended, Chair, employing them on permanent and pensionable basis, and considering individual teacher qualification. It's very important, Chair, that we say.
And even on the microeconomics, when you employ a teacher on PNB and has predictable income, they can take loans. When they take loans to construct, say, a house, the plumber, the mason, the carpenter, whom you are training at Murang'a Youth Service, they'll be able to get jobs. But when they're employed for 1 year and released, that income is not predictable, so they cannot take loans. We need people who can purchase the makorofia and so on, who can buy meat from the butcheries, who can buy from the market, people who have purchasing power. It will come from the employed people in Murang'a, and some of them are teachers. Senator Cherargei, you asked for the microphone.
Chair, maybe just quick observation. I think one of the misuse and abuse is the word interns in this country. Because I have never understood, even in national and county governments, why use government resources train somebody for 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, after investing in them, not only paying stipend, but also giving them the knowledge, then throw them back to the street. I think, as we have said, the governor should have a strategy on how they can gradually absorb, because it doesn't make sense you hire a new person, give him a probation for some time to train them, then you have removed the others. But my only question to the governor is, since you took over, and I've indicated, you have said there is a historical number of staff, did you do any staff audit to segregate? Because I remember Nyeri told us that the rat catchers were still working for Nyeri because advent of devolution. When the Nyeri governor appeared. So have you done staff audit to know the needs assessment and people you can pay them ex gratia so that you don't need them when you took over from the infamous Mwangi Wairia?
Right.
Or the famous Mwangi Wairia government?
Yes, Chair. One, let me start with the question. Yes, we did. And we found some discrepancies which we remedied. That will be about the first 4 months when we came into office. However, we want to take that issue a little bit further. We have digitized employees' records, but we now want to leverage on GIS technology to tie them into a geophysical location where they do declaration at a place where a person works physically. And as to your proposal, Chair, we have agreed that, yes, it is true, it makes sense. We need to transit these young people. Instead of telling them to go home, we retain them. We transit them into more better employment than telling them to go home. And therefore, Chair, that is well noted, because it's inhumane to bring somebody in and then you tell him to go home. So that's noted. As to whether you will employ them permanent and pensionable, I think this is an issue that I see a lot of conflicting laws and philosophies, which the Senate needs to help us, because, look, we are here. This is an audit query. And you know, you, Senate, you can sanction me. And the audit query is simple. Why is your wage bill at 54%? So, on one hand, you are telling us to put these employees into permanent and pension. We all know what that means. Like now, if we do that, Murang'a County, I did an analysis. I asked my staff, okay, we want to help these people. They do a good job. But what is the cost implication of this? In fact, the other day I showed a document saying it is 600 million per annum. Before, I used to be told it's 200 to 50, but when they do the actual, it shot up to 600 million per annum to do that conversion for 1,000 employees who are teachers who are in our ECD institutions. And therefore, I think we have to decide which is which, because on one hand, we are being told, no, wage bill of counties is too large. Okay, fine. Then on the other hand, you are being told transit this set of employees, and you know the implication will be a very, very unmanageable wage bill. You see, the discussion we had here before made a lot of sense. You're asking, tell us about your pending bills. You know, a contractor can build an ECD class, and you tell him, you wait for 3, 4, 5 months, which is also not fair. It's immoral, but it happens. But a salary, I promise you, 20,000 at the end of the month, you must pay that amount. Come rain, come shine. So for me, salaries is something you have to be very careful. You don't promise somebody and you fail to pay, because that is a recurrent expenditure which is static, and you cannot, unlike a contractor where you can delay, you can't delay salaries. We came into Murang'a, we found salaries were being delayed for 4 months. Now they are no longer delayed. At least every 5th, 10th day of any month, people get their salaries. But that is hard work. I'm trying to bring the idea that I'm fearful that you push us towards this direction, then this wage bill now will not be 54%, it will be 70, 80%. And we have all those other programs that we have to continue supporting. My view, and this is my view, I hold the view that labor markets in this country needs to be flexible. Flexible, I mean, like now the idea of internship, in my view, I think it has been positive, because that way we are able to get people who can help us, we are able to offer service, and we are able to proceed even if we onboard them. So, Chair, I'm trying to plead with you that even as you push us for that direction, just know the implication on our books will be huge, huge. But finally, a suggestion by my senator makes a lot of sense. That one I support 100%, which is a degree holder should be paid a little bit more. A diploma holder should be paid a little bit more. That makes a lot of sense in my view, and I feel probably we can start with that conversation, maybe through phased manner, taking into account everyone's qualifications. Thank you, Chair.
Just maybe respond to what Senator Cherargei asked. Just comment on the issue of staff audit. Have you attempted to audit the staff? There could be a presence of ghost workers in Murang'a. Yes, Senator Cherargei?
Chair, he has answered, but he was economical. He said there are some remedies that they noticed, but he didn't say which remedies.
Like here, when I look at the statements, comparative analysis of compensation for employees in 2023-2024, no, 2022-2023, you paid 3,899,279,511, and in 2023-2024, there was a decrease to 3,685,639,768. There was a downward trend in the compensation for employees. What did you do? Is it as a result of some audit? Did you discover that there are some ghost employees which may be removed from the payroll? What did you do, which you also need to continue doing so that that wage bill can go down?
Chair.
Yes.
I would hate to take you back, but this matter of VCD teachers, you know, Murang'a is doing so well under this county government. And this is everybody is aware, but we have a gray area in this ECD teachers, Chair. And I know many counties are coming to benchmark in Murang'a, but could we then also benchmark with Nyeri? Because Nyeri has been able to employ ECD teachers on permanent and pensionable basis. So we are doing so well in everything else, but this ECD teachers matter is Chair, most of the complaints that I get about the county is about this ECD, about these ECD teachers. So we still need to be innovative, Governor, and see. Yes, we understand that you're pressed with this, of course, excessive percentage of the amounts spent on wages and salaries. But we cannot continue. I don't know what we are going to do, but we cannot continue having these teachers on any other, basis of contract other than permanent and pensionable, Chair. So I don't know what will happen, because of course I know there is natural attrition every year with every other county and department. I don't know whether we can hold, engaging more employees in other areas, but the county must be innovative, because this is something, Governor, that we must do. because it's very pressing, Chair. And because other counties have done it, as they come to benchmark with us on other areas, can we also consult and see, benchmark and see exactly what Kahiga is doing? With all his weaknesses, he has been able to pay, to engage ECD teachers on permanent and pensionable basis.
So that is
Chair.
data for when?
Even last year.
Last year.
Last year.
Because in
Yes.
2021, we made noise on Nyeri.
Reports
It was
from
a-
there
it was a
are
query.
yes.
It was a query that they were paying teachers as low as 8,000.
No, now it
Query-
stands at 25,000.
It was a query in this
If my
country.
sources are right,
Okay.
at 25,000 for the least paid.
Okay.
So I
Just
think we may
cover-
need to know what we can do about it.
Chair, can I just add so that we can conclude through you, Chair? I think that there was some reports table about human resource audit in counties. I don't know
Yes.
whether OAG can say something as governor with your indulgence. Maybe the
Mr.
OAG.
Muriuki?
Chairman, the report was tabled and is due to be discussed in this committee. Hopefully, maybe the committee can make a decision to start considering those reports.
I
But
think
it
we
was out.
should consider, I direct that the Murang'a County Executive
Yes.
should appear on that matter of human resource so that we can help. So Secretariat make appropriate arrangements as we begin the new year, Governor. So that matter falls there and rests there. Let's move to the next issue was on the interest we have this. So the next issue, Cherono.
Thank you, Chair. The next issue was the issue on construction of septic tank at Murang'a Level 4 Hospital.
So did you visit this? Have you visited this project?
Chair, we are doing the current audit and we will be able to check which part of the assignment for this current audit.
Governor, what happened to this 1.8 million construction of septic tank at Murang'a Hospital?
Yes, I think we have remedied. It's now okay.
Where are the photos? You have said photos of the current state awaiting physical verification. Which annex? Where is, I'm told the MCA is here, my good friends. Sorry, I was not. Early enough. Is there an MCA here?
It was in the progress of renovation.
The progress of renovation.
Yes.
So, Governor, as I yield back to the chair, where are the photos? So, when were you last there? Sorry, Mheshimiwa, when were you last there? Do you have your clerk around or a clerk from the county assembly or any committee?
No.
But Murang'a is very near. It's only 40 minutes. So when were you there? This year or last year?
This year,
This year.
yes.
So renovation was ongoing. To the governor, as I yield back to the chair. Governor, where are the photos?
Yes, we are sorry. They were not annexed to the response to the Senate, but they were next to the responses to the auditor, and I have them here. Unless
Maybe with the indulgence of the chair, you can table. Is it on the phone or
no, here,
physically?
physically.
Oh.
Yeah.
So maybe you can table the clerk and give it to the chair. We see. So is it now complete or is it still overflowing with waste?
It's okay now, Chair.
It's okay. I yield back to the chair on the issue of septic tank at Murang'a Level 4. That was what, 1.8 million.
So I think we can
I
keep
think they are
that.
saying it's complete. They have tabled the pictures.
Okay.
He's saying they didn't attach. But OAG, did you see those photos?
Chair, we never saw those photos. They were not part of the responses.
But the governor is saying he gave you those annexures.
Yeah.
The photos are not there.
The photos are not
They are
there.
going up to number 5, folio 5. There is, and they have to go.
Okay, maybe you can give it in view. I think the
You
next.
can keep it in view so that in the ongoing audits you can. Yes. All right.
Oh, it's called Mavai.
Bye.
See fire, see fire. It's Mavai.
Okay, auditor. Bullet point 5, paragraph 5.
Thank you. The next issue was on project complete but not in use. That was Mabai dispensary.
Yes, Governor.
Yes, the department had first budgeted for the first phase of infrastructure works due to resources scarcity. There's a second phase that was advertised and awarded, and more work is being done so that the facility becomes truly usable.
Yes, auditor, how is it now?
Chair, as per the responses, they are yet to be used because of the budgetary issues.
We're talking about, Governor, scarcity of resources. How much do you require to start using that facility?
Yes, it's just another 1 million. You know, Chair, maybe to give you context is that at times we'll do a project to be finished. The auditor will come, he will see something finished. He will then say it's not in use, but actually there'll be maybe at phase 2. A phase 2 will be like maybe a new ablution block, maybe a new fencing. So the point is now that's it. So the auditor might think it is actually complete, but there will be some new alterations that the county may want to do to make it more usable. And therefore, that's the point we were saying.
No, Governor, you need just to explain during the time of audit that it is complete, but it's not in use because it's required to have maybe a toilet and so on.
Yeah, I
If you
think
make
that's,
that explanation should really suffice.
yeah. Although also, Chair, just to be candid, there, because I know my senator is here and he might have had some problems here and there. There are some dispensaries that we have built that required staff, but because of this problem of wage bill, we had not factored in those staff, and we have now recruited. We are doing some new recruitments. We hope once those new people come in, particularly the clinical officers, and they occupy these dispensaries, they will also be activated. That includes Mafai dispensary in Gatanga. It includes Kiawambeu in Kiharu, Mbiri Ward. It also includes Kigumo, Karinga dispensary. There is also in Madioya a new hospital called Nyakianga. So the point is, there's also a small element of staff that we are currently recruiting in will help us deal with this issue. As we had stated, yes, we froze employment except in medical field. Thank you, Chair.
Except for the essential services, and we said ECDs are also essential services and VTCs. So I think auditor will keep that issue in view in the subsequent audits. Now we have the other one would be failure to remit balances from ASDSP2 accounts. to the National Program account. Auditor, what is still outstanding in that query?
Chair, they have explained that they have closed the account, but we are yet to see the letter of closure by the bank.
Governor,
Chair, Annexure 5A is a SPA closing letter.
Auditor, have you seen that document? Annexure 5A.
And also 5B, the minutes of the County Treasury Advisory Committee.
Auditor, you said you engaged with the governor. Have you seen those letters? In Annexure 5A.
Chair, what is evidence is just one account, but there's an account which is not yet closed.
That is closed.
Yes.
There are others not closed, Governor. Why are you saying the accounts have been closed and yet the audit is not satisfied that they're closed?
Chair, when you look at Annexure 5A, the second document there, we believe this ought to be sufficient, but we can be guided on what else we can do, Chair.
Is it one account or many accounts, Auditor? Because you are saying some have been closed, some are not closed.
Yes, Chair, they have talked of they are in the process of closing the bank account at the CPK. And that account specifically of account number 125 556 11 464, the executive has explained that they're in the process of closing the account.
Governor, are the accounts closed or you are in the process of closing them?
Chair, if I had the auditor, I think he's making a point. He's talking of CBK.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that one we agree. We will do a letter within 1 week to close the CBK.
Even in the minutes, you are indicating that the accounts that are yet to be closed.
The CBK one, yes, we can. That's we agree. We need to do something about it.
So when are you closing them so that we get some timeline?
Chair, within a week.
Within a week, all those accounts will be closed. Audit, I think we don't need to belabor on that. Let's have the accounts closed. Okay. We go to the report on effectiveness of internal controls, risk management, and governance. Conclusion. Lack of asset disposal plan. Auditor, do you have it now?
Chair, we are yet to get the disposal plan.
Governor?
Chair, allow me to say something of this response. And the truth is, I've been urging my officers to have a disposal plan, which is also to our own interest because we will make some money out of some assets we will dispose. But the procurement office has been saying they need a valuation. So for the longest of period, Murang'a did not have a valuer, a registered value. I think it had one, but we didn't have a director of valuation. So he came in just about 6 months or so, and he was also the one doing the valuation role. So he has given us a promise to give us the values of these assets within the next 3 months so that we can be able to sell these assets. So Chair, give us 3 months we will have come up with a disposal plan, which we agree with the auditor it is the right thing to do because it's also a possible way for us to make some extra money. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, auditor, is that explanation okay to mitigate on this?
Yes, Chairs, because there is a procedure for them to come up with that disposal plan. Their concern is they might end up undervaluing. So I think that it's okay, but as we are saying, some assets are yet to be disposed. So long as they undertake that procedure of being cautious for purposes of getting the value for the assets they are supposed to dispose. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think this is a cross-cutting issue across the counties. Most of them don't have disposal plans. They have many vehicles just there being degraded. We don't know why. And I know later on they'll be sold for a song. So let's have that disposal plan so that if there's any money that can be raised, as you say, Governor, from the sale of the assets, then that money can be acquired.
Chair,
yes.
I know this committee has a lot of powers and which you can help the counties. Yes, we may dispose assets, but I have no doubt that there'll be a large bulk of assets that we don't have legal way of selling them. The ones that the title or the ownership document remains with the national government. There are so many vehicles belonging to the national governments that were ceded to us that are yet change of ownership to be effected. So we ask the committee also to help push ITGRC, national government institution, to surrender ownership documents to us to enable us dispose some of those things. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that is something you can follow up, Secretariat. Maybe when we start the next session, we could call IGRTC here. We have a conversation on how we can have all those assets lying within counties. And I think they are in they are worth billions of money. So let's see how we can look at that issue, the global issue of having all the assets transferred to the counties, so that if the counties want to dispose of the assets, they can do so. I think that is something that we can do. Auditor, was that all?
Thank you, Chair. That was all for the 2023-2024 audit reports.
Yeah, Senator Nyutu, we are just the two of us who are remaining here. You might want to just say something for your county as we close.
Thank you, Chair. I think I want to thank my governor for honoring all the invitations that are made by this house, the various house committees. Because, Chair, it's about accounting for public resources. And I want to thank him and his government for that. And, Chair, it's also true that Murang'a is rated the best performing. And I like saying that when these or the accolades are given, the senator who vouches for these resources is somehow conveniently not mentioned anywhere, and we accept that as senators. But it's important, I tell the governor to sometimes also, when he's rolling out projects, to also recognize the role that his successor in this house also makes. But generally, Chair, I think I want to say again and emphasize that we must see to it that we engage ECD teachers. That's the only remaining thing, if you ask me, in Murang'a County, that has not been, remaining to be sorted. Engage them on permanent and pensionable basis. How that will be done, the governor and his government will have to know. They will have to innovate, because, Chair, that must and should be done. Otherwise, we are faring well in the county, and I ask the governor to continue, having service for the people of Murang'a as his guiding principle, Chair. And I think, I don't think I have much else to say. Thank you also for having me as a friend of this committee. And we are happy when we come and see what you're doing, to see to it that the monies that we send to the counties are expended in the way that we intend them to be expended. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Senator Newtu. Governor, your closing remarks.
Chair, allow me first to thank yourself and your colleagues and also my senator. He does a good job to keep us in toes. It is the right thing to do. That's his role, and we don't take it for granted. The auditors also do an excellent job to come and audit our books, and we take their advice very seriously. Let me also thank my officers, because it's not about myself. There's also the CEC professor and the two chief officers led by Gesheha and the other, and also other staff who do work. Allow me just to comment about that issue of ECD teachers. It is true, they do an excellent job. Research seems to suggest that the mind of a child, or rather the mind of any human being, grows fastest in the ages between 5 and 0. That then means if you want, the best interventions you can do to a human being can only have effect if done between 5 and 0. So therefore, what the work they do is so important for the future generation that indeed we need to think about it. What are we doing about it? Okay, it is true. The only reason we are always assistant on that issue is the wage bill. And when you see at 54%, one option was we fire people. We refused, because we know these people are families. And the other option we thought, okay, is we push our own source revenue, which we have done. It used to be about 500 million. It is now 1.3 billion as at the last financial year. But that's not enough for us to shepherd this, because we also have other programs. So there are two possible ways we are looking into that issue. Number one, staggered. We consider them in a staggered manner. And that may take years, but that's one of the areas we are discussing as a cabinet. We also know that once we do that, we have to consider employees who used to be called casuals. We know how employees look at things. If you help one cohort, the other one has to say, even us. Remember, when we came into office, we found 1,300 casual employees in Murang'a who did not have a payslip, who did not have a payroll number. We transitioned them to contracts, which then made them access loans, and at least they are now better. But you see now, there are 1,300 under contract. We have then ECD teachers, about 1,000, who are under contract. That then means if you transition this ECD to P&P, even the other group of 1,300 will say, okay, where are we, even us? And therefore, we believe that the transitioning should be by both sets of employees. Otherwise, you will create what we call labor disharmony. Looking at that thing in totality, that then means because of the huge cost implication, the only logical thing is to do it in phases. We agree, let's say we start with maybe graduates, we cascade to diploma holders, we then cascade to certificate holders over a certain period of time to avoid a situation where people are saying we are being discriminated or not. When that happens, we are yet to decide. We are still looking at the finances. And because as you can see, You have seen how our wage bill has a problem of that 1 point something billion. Then the final point is the second possible remedy to this is what we are doing at Del Monte. Murang'a County has some land which we have called in industrialists to come and invest. We decided it's not free land. People have to pay for it. Okay, there was some valuation, some due process, and we thank National Government Ministry of Lands because they helped us even to do the surveying. We have a law passed by the Assembly of Murang'a that shepherds the process, and when we advertised, the projected income was about 2 billion. The people who are given about 20 say they are ready to pay. Those who have paid us at now, when we pay, we mean they pay into a holding account. We can't take that money, but we can only cite it into a holding account. It's about 30 million. There's another who have paid through bank guarantee. That's about another 270. So we have about 300 million, which money we think we can see. Then the balance probably will be paid later by the rest, so that we get about 2 billion. But that will not be enough. Remember, salaries is recurrent. So, you know, that will be a windfall. But maybe it can help us mitigate some of these cash flow problems we found there, maybe. It was on that land also where we wrote to CPF and LAP Fund, and we told them, why can't we give you a piece of land here? We swap your debt. We hope if those measures work as planned, some of these budgetary problems we are seeing here might be remedied. So the point is, Chair, as I conclude, we are looking into these problems. We seek for time. They take time to materialize. But if they happen, we believe now we will have a more stronger fiscally county. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, thank you, Governor, for turning up for this session where you come to account for the money that comes to Murang'a. As a CEO for Murang'a County, it's good that you always come so that we can account for the money that comes there. As Senate, we have decided, and we've worked very hard even from the time you are here, that we'll push as much funds as possible to the counties. In fact, this time at Adora, we were pushing for 465 billion to the counties in Dora. But our main impediment has been National Assembly, who don't believe that money should go to the counties, but should remain at the center in Nairobi for the use by the national government. So us will continue doing our work, pushing a lot of money to come to the counties, and even some of these problems that we face as Murang'a on wage bill and many other counties can be resolved if we push more money. As a member of ODM, we had an MOU with the UDA so that funds going to counties can be in the upward of 450 billion. But that MOU is not being honored. But in a scientific manner, because now we have CAIPs, County Aggregation and Industrial Parks, going to the counties, we have CHPs being given some stipend by the counties. We need a lot of money to go to the counties. In Murang'a, healthcare is working because of your innovativeness and creative way of working. But in most counties, healthcare has gone to the dogs. It is in ICU, simply because the money that is going to the counties is not adequate. And we even said that if you had more money, you would have employed more nurses and even opened more dispensaries and health centers, which are required by the people of Murang'a. But for as long as we're not taking a lot of money to the counties, we would not have proper services going to our people. So 3 things, Governor, that we must look at. The wage bill, much as we've tried to justify that we require to employ more, use innovative ways. I know you are a very innovative leader from the time you're in the Senate. Let us see how you can employ ECD teachers so that you can motivate them, as you've rightly put it, the minds of a child expand between 3 and 7 years. Once you mess them at that point, then you can lose them for their whole life. Look at wage bills so that you can push it down to less than 40 at least, so that more money can be available for development in Murang'a County. The other one is the valuation role. I think you've talked about it. We need to see that you have the most recent valuation role so that more money can be collected for Murang'a County. And all auditors would continue flagging it for as long as you're not updating the valuation role, then the auditors will not stop flagging it out. And the last one is the issue, the very thorny issue of pending bills. I know you have audited the pending bills and seen the ones that are eligible and the ones that are not ineligible. Let us have them paid. It doesn't matter when they were incurred, even if they were incurred in 2013, 2014 financial year. But it is a classroom that was built, a hall that was built, a dispensary where a contractor has not been paid. That facility is in use. Make arrangements so that those people are paid. They're our people after all. So, and we have seen also staff payables. You're indicating that you are paying. When you see the payment plan and how much you've been able to pay in the subsequent audit reports, then we'd be glad that most of the pending bills, especially on staff payables, are defrayed so that our staff can have morale to work. And even the ones that are working, if not taking money to CPF, have an arrangement so that that money can go. Because when you are working, one time you'd retire and you are saving because when you retire, you also want to live a longer life. Otherwise, if you don't have retirement package, then you are likely to die immediately after you leave job. Otherwise, thank you so much, Governor. Keep it up. You are doing a good job for us. In the counties, when you have public engagement, we always cite Murang'a as a county where devolution is working or seems to be working. And we keep encouraging you and your team to do even more. I know the room for expansion, the room for improvement is the biggest room in the world. So you can improve. Na msiharibu, in Kiswahili you say, mgema kisifiwa tembo ulitia maji. Msiringe na mwaribu, just keep on keeping on, so that all the time you're talking about devolution, you can cite Murang'a, also cite a lot Makueni, a county where devolution seems to be, to really be working. So wish you well, mkienda Murang'a, salimeni watu Murang'a. The meeting is adjourned until Thursday.
Thursday, yes, we'll be meeting Narok and Embu County executives.
Yeah, Thursday we'll be meeting Narok and Embu counties. The meeting is adjourned.